as parents, grandparents, we make all kinds of agreements, deals, arrangements with our children, with our grandchildren, for those who have the married great-grandchildren. But have you ever made an agreement with an unborn child? Have you ever made an agreement with 10 generations down the line? Obviously, this is inconceivable. You can't make an agreement, you can't enter into a bond, you can't enter into a relationship with someone who is not here. Yet, this is exactly what we find in the parsha of this week. Where the Torah says, Atem nitzovim hayoim kulchem lifnei Hashem Elokechem. All of you standing firm today before God. What's happening? You're all here la'avrecha bevris Hashem, to enter into the covenant with God. What is the covenant? That you should be established as His nation, and He will be your God. And then the Torah continues, and it's not only with you who are present here that I'm making this covenant. Those who are presently here, and even those who are not physically present here. How is God entering into a bond, into a covenant with those that don't exist yet? Those who haven't been born yet. And He's obviously talking, even 3,000 years later, to us. How did we enter a covenant with Him when we were not there? So there are different commentators giving different explanations. Some of them explain it. Souls. Soul is infinite. We're all part of the soul of the who were all there. We were all present at Mount Sinai. Every single soul for all future generations were there. So therefore, we entered into this covenant. It's a spiritual bond. It's a bond of neshama, so to say. Our soul with God. Others take an interesting halachic, a legal approach, and they say like this. A child is an extension of the parent. A child is a leg of the parent. So if that's the case, the children, even the unborn children of this generation, they're part of the parents. So by definition, all the future generations are all part of those who were present then. So we all entered into the covenant. Now, interesting approaches. But what's surprising, Rashi, the basic commentator on the Chumash, doesn't make any statement, doesn't give any explanation. That question deserves some attention. So obviously Rashi is of the opinion that it is so simple that it doesn't need any explanation. And why is that? Because who is making that covenant? It's God. Even a child knows that a God is not limited by time and space. Every child sings, Hashem is here, Hashem is there, Hashem is truly everywhere. So just as He is truly everywhere, He is up and down, not just in space, but in time. So God, not being limited to time, yes, He can enter into a covenant with future generations in a physical sense, because to Him time is irrelevant. In fact, the pasuk itself alludes to that. Because the pasuk first says, Atem nitzavim hayom kulchem. You are all standing here to enter into the covenant of our relationship, God says, with Him. So then He repeats Himself. It's not only with you that I'm making the covenant. Who you? Those who are here and those who are not here. You just said that those who are here. Why do you need to repeat Eis Asher Imanu Poi Hayoim, with those that are here? Those that are here are here. But the pasuk is implying that even those who are physically not here are equally here and are equally entering into this covenant with God, just like those who are presently here. In other words, our covenant is not because of some kind of ancestral inheritance. It's not just on the soul level, but every single one of us is part of that covenant. And that's our secret of survival. And that's the secret of our nation. And that's the secret, and not so much a secret, but that's the certainty that we have, that any moment Mashiach is coming, because that's part of the covenant. So Eibishter, we're ready for the fulfillment of that covenant, and we should find ourselves today in the Beis HaMikdash.